Okay, let's start. As usual, what you can do is just sit back, relax, meditate along, close your eyes. You don't need to do anything else. Be in an open, receptive state and just enjoy. And in the beginning, I always need a few moments to set up the session energetically, and then I start sharing. Okay, let's start. I start opening up the energy field. Bring in light. Then I expand the energy field. Expanding the energy field helps to hold more light in the system, and also more awareness comes with that as well. Awareness in all areas. So I'm expanding. And the energy field can always be more expanded. It's a never-ending process. We can always carry more light. And light is higher information, and this information is transforming our system and also our life experience. Then I fill up the expanded space with light. Then I clear surface energies. Surface energies are all sorts of energies that are floating around the top of your system. So energies that create noise and movement, like emotions and energy patterns that are playing out. And when I clear those, right away a lot more light is entering. Also, the body starts relaxing more, the system opens up more. And just the overall feeling of well-being comes in more as well. Because the body prefers if there's less or nothing going on in the system. If there's still something there, like a contraction, or something that can't relax, maybe a body part, just allow it to be there, and it will follow the relaxation later. And then I also clear energies out of the mind, thoughts. So we don't have to have thoughts all day long, right? It's not necessary. It's just a habit of the system, creating thoughts. And it takes us away from the present moment, from what we actually focus on. The thoughts just take us away. And by clearing the energies of thoughts out of the mind. So it's basically just stuck life energy on the mind level. More light enters the mind level. Also more expansion happens there. More relaxation. And then there are less thoughts or no thoughts. So open up the energy field more. Always when I open up the energy field more and bring in more light, the light can enter deeper layers. And there's an energy coming in that helps us to relax more, to surrender more to the light that's flowing in. And you can see right away when there's relaxation happening, more surrender, more light is entering. So it's always like that. Also during our everyday life experience, when we are surrendering to life, we allow life to unfold, the system is open, and there is a lot more life present and flowing. If we resist life, we don't want certain things, when there's resistance in general, then the system closes down, there's less life energy flowing, less light. It's actually very simple on an energetical level. Then I open up the central energy channel. This is where life energy flows through the system. So life energy is life itself. It flows from the root to the crown chakra, falls back down left and right and flows up again and so forth. And what we want to have as much life energy flowing as possible. So the more we heal and clear the system from energies from the past life influences, ancestral influences, the more life energy gets available again, because it's basically just used for something else right now. So for these energies from the past. Then I open up the chakras. I start with the crown chakra, third eye chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus, sacral chakra, and root chakra. Again, maybe you can feel that the system is even more open now, more light is coming in. And this beautiful high vibrational divine light that's present, it's holding you in like a little cocoon in a very high vibration. So it's not just holding you there, at the same time it's working on your system, and it also helps to raise your vibration. So now I start clearing. So what happens right away when there's a lot of high vibrational light in the system, low vibration energies are surfacing. So I'm just going to clear a few of those. So in general, resistance to the lights that are present, resistance to the session. I mean, a lot of these energies, they're not like on the conscious level, right? They're somewhere in the system, stored in the system, so we're not even aware of them. So I just clear resistance in general, resistance towards life, how life is unfolding. It's one of the main resistances we have. Resistance to life. That it unfolds in a way that we don't prefer, in a way that we didn't sign up for, that we want life to unfold in a different way. So this is what the resistance is about. Right away, there are past life influences. So I look into one past life as a representation that you know what kind of energy I'm clearing. Yeah, interesting. Basically, it's like a very root of, let's say, a fundamental resistance. It's really resistance to life, but just in a different way. So I get the image of a mother giving birth to her child, and she didn't want to have that child. Like she really didn't want it because of circumstances that happened before, and so she was really resisting this while giving birth, and like this whole resistance is in her. Also, then the child receives that energy, and it's basically resistance to life, like on a very root cause or core level. So I'm healing this. Clear it. And this makes a massive change in the energy field. Maybe you can feel it, like just clearing this, and I clear past lives with the same energy, just different stories. Yeah, the system feels so much lighter afterwards right away. Maybe you can feel that. Beautiful. And there are energies, because there were times when life didn't unfold in the way you wanted. You felt sad, so there is a clear those energies as well. So sadness, devastation, heart chakra, these energies are in the heart chakra. There's also anger, second chakra, and hate, second chakra. So, and also fear, root chakra. And so because life was unfolding in that way, certain energy patterns started to form themselves. So the compensatory energy patterns. And I'm looking into energy patterns that were actually very, like, you needed them at that time. They were basically lifesavers in a way, because there was a situation that was unbearable. Maybe you were young, even a baby, or a little bit older, doesn't matter. Like very tough life situation experienced in that specific moment. And then these compensatory energies that were created in your system were at this moment, lifesavers. So now I look into clearing those, because today you don't need them anymore. They just play out, even though you're adult, and a lot of you have already done so much healing clearing work, you're so aware of your system. You don't need these energy patterns. I mean, we never need them. They have served us, but they're still there. So I clear. So I just see all sorts of different ones popping up. So I clear those. And then basically when these energy patterns were fed, the system calmed down. The system felt held, felt love. It felt supported. And so these energies are also coming in right now. So at the same time, to meet also these energies that need this support, the love, so that they can neutralize. So let's do this for like a minute so that they can work on your system. And then there are more energies popping up. So I'm just clearing them. So energy of overwhelmed, for example, of being very much overwhelmed with the situation, with emotions, feeling alone, feeling not supported. So I'm just clearing those energies. So a lot of those energies, yeah. A lot of them is stress and overwhelmed, actually. It's very interesting. So a lot of energies of stress and overwhelmed, they need compensation so that the nervous system calms down. So there's also an energy coming in right now. It just supports the nervous system. Maybe you can feel the calming of the nervous system beautifully. Feels very nice. Then I clear more energies. So specifically heart chakra, identification. Heart chakra is always energies where we identify with. Also, energies from the past, just stuck energies. I can't do this. It's too much. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to handle this. I can't make decisions. I don't know how to decide. I don't know. So I clear those energies. Is it my fault? Is it somebody else's fault? So energies of blame. Then why did this happen to me or somebody around me? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why is life playing out in that way? Why do I have this experience? Why is somebody else mean to me? Or similar energies. Clear those. Then more root chakra, so fear. So fear is really just the core energy. And then other energies are just like basically a different version of fear, the low vibrational ones. So fear of being alone, of not being supported. And in a situation of overwhelm, of losing yourself, losing the grip, not being able to make it. So there are these energies, I clear them. Then there are energies around, again, heart chakra. I'm in charge. So we clear these energies because it's not the highest truth. So we clear those. I'm in charge. I want to have things my way. I want to be in control. So these energies, they, for example, energy of control. If we are in circumstances of overwhelmed and so forth, the system seeks control. And then if we feel like we gain control, then it's basically it holds us safe in a way, but it's all just a limitation. Definitely from today's perspective, because we want to get rid of all limitations. Because then also experiences of overwhelms and other energies we've experienced before, they don't show up in that way anymore. Mostly they don't show up, and if in a very, let's say, in a version that's not as experienced as in such a hard way or in such a way of suffering. It's more of a information, or we're in there for a short amount of time because it's a clearing, but that's really it. So there's a lot more light coming in. Just light, basically of support. So it carries the energy of support. It's for the human aspect. It's really support for the human. So these energies meets certain energies of deficiencies in our system so that they can neutralize. And it's so interesting when we feel, okay, I want support, but I'm not supported, for example, like when we basically create this reality we are experiencing, right? If we create the reality that there is stress, if we create a reality that we need to be in control, but we're losing control, but I need to be in control, for example, we always create these circumstances. And if we just clear the energies, there is no need. Like this is not being created in the first place. When we clear the root energies, the experience is not created. And this is what we want. We don't want to create experiences that are not necessary, that are just limitations that take us away from the present moment, from what's actually important. I put healing energies into the heart chakra. Also throat chakra. Then I open up the energy field more. Bring in more light. There's an energy present that just supports the silence and the clarity in your system, because this is what we want, right? We want to have the peace, the silence, the clarity there all the time. So there's an energy present that supports that and expands the experience of it, because when you see then that there's an energy of deficiency coming into your experience, you will first of all see it, you will recognize it. And then there's also the choice, right, to act on it or not. And because of this clearing today, it's possible that it comes up one more time. It's possible it never comes up again, but it's possible that it comes up one more time. And then you recognize it as such, and then you don't act on it, and then it dissolves for good. And so this is why right now the space of inner peace, silence, and clarity is being expanded within your system. Because then everything else, all the movement in the system is then it's seen. Often it's just not even seen because there's so much going on. Then it's a lot easier. And then there's an energy coming in. It's working on your system, so it's changing the information in every cell of your body, and it's time to move out of, basically that's the survival mode we talked about, right? It's just not like, okay, the survival mode has, let's say, different phases or different areas. But these compensatory energies are also basically survival mode energies, because at the time when they were needed, they basically saved our lives in one way or other. So it's part of the survival mode, and this is definitely not needed anymore today. So we're moving out of that. And this energy that's present is really supporting this, to pull you out of the survival mode. Into a, let's say, new version, or a higher vibration, same thing, on an energetic level where you can make good choices for yourself, and energy patterns in the system can't manipulate your choices anymore, because this is what's happening, right? We often don't choose what we actually prefer because of energy patterns. So we choose to stay in the energy pattern, and that's not even on a conscious level, it just happens. And when we move out of this, suddenly the possibility is there to make choices. They are for us, they resonate, they are our highest truth in the present moment, and there's nothing interfering with that, because the system is silent. And this is what we want. So the energy that's present right now is really supporting this. And maybe you can experience the change of how your system feels. It's like a heavy baggage falls off. Because these energy patterns are such limitations. They use up our time, our life energy, resources, just to stay alive. And they're definitely not needed. And the system recognizes this now. It understands this. So yes, it's one thing that the mind understands it, but the mind can't do much because the energy patterns are stronger than the mind. So when the system recognizes this, it's a whole different story. Because it starts withdrawing energy by itself from these energy patterns, so that they're not as strong anymore, or they are gone. And it claims back the life energy. Very beautiful. So basically the energy that's present, I mean, this is what they're doing in general anyways, but just to share this right now, it's turning on, let's say, the remembrance or the intelligence of the system, so that the system can shift modes, and then it does it by itself. So shift from the survival mode to, I don't know if there's a name for this one, but the one where what I was talking about. Let's say where the true nature shines forward more and more, and this becomes the main experience. And at the same time, while this is happening, I also see more energies of deficiencies are surfacing, and they're being cleared right away, because we're already in such a high vibrational state that they basically come up and then dissolve, come up, dissolve. So that's happening right now. And I'm just going to name a few. Yeah, so eating, overeating, not eating, all around food. So excessively healthy food, for example, controlling, calorie counting. So everything around food, not eating, certain, like excessively, in an excessive way, certain foods, or in a strict way, in a controlling way. We always have to find in all areas our personal highest truth in the present moment, and this changes every day. So there is no one right way to feed your body every day. Every day changes. Every day the body needs something different. Every person needs something different at a certain different age, for example. So there's a lot of information out there around how to eat, what to eat, and so forth. But it's really feeling into the system. What do I actually need? So this is one has been cleared already, but just a few remain ones are being cleared. Then love in all different areas. This is probably one of the biggest ones here I see, is a deficiency of love. Could come from parents also grandparents, partners, wherever it's coming from. So where we didn't feel loved, or a loved one what's the best word to use? Let's say has done something to us that hurt. Let's just use this as a generalization. And we needed to compensate for that. So there was a withdrawal of love for whatever reason. This is one of the main ones here I see. So a few main ones are being cleared. I also support this in the heart chakra. Okay, then doing something excessively like working, sports, gaming, gambling, drinking, smoking, like all these. Eating was also one of them. We looked into this before. Also sexuality. Or then opposite, a full withdrawal. Control. Remain ones are being cleared to the remain energies. So what I just named, and then excessively controlling these areas, for example. Then also more general ones, control and safety again. Where we feel like we need to stay in control, or we need to have control. But control is an illusion, safety is an illusion, it doesn't exist. We can create it with our minds, yes, and then we think it exists, and then it actually does exist as a limitation, but just because we create it. So it's basically, okay, that's a funny image that comes up, but it's really like this. So you know when cows are outside and they have like, I don't know how it is in your country, but here in Austria, for example, they don't even have proper fences. It's more like just a string, uh, and it has a little bit of electricity in it, but it's not like totally strong. It's just a little bit. And so there is two lines of these fences, or of these strings around like the area where the cows are. And I mean, a cow has, I don't know, between 800 and 1,000 kilos maybe. So it would be the easiest thing for a cow to walk off, right? But it sees this string, and it's the limitation for the cow. So it knows, okay, I can't go past this, which is, yeah, of course not true. And these are the limitations we put on ourselves. So we basically put these little fences around ourselves, saying we can't move beyond them, but it would be the easiest thing to just move past, right? Easiest. But we don't see the possibility. That's the thing. So we don't see the possibility. We create the limitation, the control. So we create them, and then they're there, but actually we could always walk past them. It's very easy. We can dissolve them. So on the one hand, they don't actually exist. So there is not a really barrier there to, the cows can always walk off basically, but for them it's there. Same or similar. It's just an image that came up to find something to make it more alive. Sometimes we think we need control, we need limitations, we need safety, which we just create ourselves. And then we're within this little area where we still can move, but we can't move beyond it anymore. At least this is what we think. I'll look if there are some more energies. I mean, a lot of them have been cleared, so I won't see them anymore. And some that are still in the clearing process. I'll look if I can share some more. Yeah, then there is this, let's say, this theme of issues on the level of the body, so illnesses, in general, problems on the level of the body. This is often how these compensatory energies are manifesting. So on the level of the body, we have an illness so that we don't have to go to work, we don't have to take care for somebody else, I don't know, that we can just stay at home and don't have to face life, whatever it is. So they are also being cleared. Energies that have already manifested on the physical, because it's actually a compensatory behavior. So let's sit with this one specifically for like 1 or 2 minutes. Then next, energies, because of a lack of a, let's say, of self-love and a positive self-image, energies that are never satisfied with how you look, yeah, how the body looks. Yeah, so these energies have been cleared around the body. So around yeah, that you need to change, that you're not good looking or whatever, like all these energies around self-image. I also see remains of those ones are being cleared. So for example, if somebody went to the gym to get a six-pack and had to work out 7 days a week, and it was so important to have a six-pack because otherwise, you know, he or she is not lovable. Just to, give a funny example here. um, and then when this energy falls away, there's suddenly the choice: do I want to go to the gym 7 days a week to train my six pack, or do I just don't have a six pack and I'm still okay with how I look, right? Um, just to give an example. So there is suddenly this choice, and then maybe that person says, hey, I actually like going to the gym, but I only like to go 3 days a week, and I also actually like to go for runs, and I run for 2 days, for example. So there is suddenly choice, and you can make choices that are actually more aligned with who you are in the present moment, versus doing something for something which never gets, like, you never get, like, if there is a lack of self-worth, a six-pack is not going to change that, for example, or I don't know, plastic surgery or new clothes or whatever it is. Then interesting one, yeah, spirituality. So where, let's say, spirituality is a little bit of an escape from have to face life, or like I was like what came up in the beginning of the session, facing life, resistance to life, and then moving into spirituality because of that, which is fine, right? Everything had its place, its time, but now we don't need these energies anymore. Everybody's here already. So energies are being cleared around where spirituality is actually the compensation. That's actually a very strong one. I can see it. And I can see the information from your system surfacing, that it really understands. I just want to be free. I just want to be free of these limitations because they're not necessary. We don't need them. Maybe there was a time when they were helpful, but right now we don't need them anymore. We just want to step out of these limitations. And the system has this very strong desire to step out of their limitations. And that's very good that's there, because that means that the system supports this whole awakening process, this whole healing and clearing process a lot more. I clear a few more energies. Second chakra, anger. Anger, um, let's just say anger towards these limitations. Anger that they were in your system in the first place. And it took so long to actually work on them that you had to carry them around for such a long time and wasted so much energy. So there is like this anger rising. Also a little bit of devastation and sadness, heart chakra, so I clear those. A little bit of blame and shame, clear those energies. And also worries. What does it mean what we just worked on. Like, what does it mean for my life experience? What does it mean for the future? I also clear those energies. We just want to be here in the present moment. So right now we're in this meditation, but then when you continue with your day, it's always about being in the present moment and working with what is coming up in the present moment, with what you have available. It's very simple. Life is actually very, very simple. Just the habits, the energy patterns, and certain mechanisms in the system make it complicated, but it's not at all. So this is why we break this all down so that it becomes very simple again. Easy, simple, and because of that, a lot more enjoyable. And we have a lot more energy available in the present moment because, I mean, we have freed up so much life energy today is incredible. And you can use this life energy now for whatever you're doing in the present moment. So there's a lot more focus, there's a lot more energy available. And that's very amazing. And there is an energy coming in, helping the system to realize that, everything I just said, so that it's not just something for the mind, but also that the system realizes that I have so much new energy available now and I can focus it in the present moment on what resonates, what I want to experience, what I want to do, overcome, whatever it is in the present moment. This is where life happens. It doesn't happen in the past and in the future. It never has. It's just a misunderstanding. There's an energy coming in that helps you to trust yourself, to trust who you really are, to trust that information that comes forward, the intuition, the strength that's also there. I know for some it's like a new area they're exploring. The true you behind the limitations. And often because it's new, it's like, oh, what do I do with that? So there's this energy of trust coming in. Just trusting that everything unfolds exactly how it's supposed to. There's always support. And basically just go. Just go and do whatever you need to do. And allow nothing to hold you back. It's just absolutely unnecessary. So this information is present right now. It's coming into the system. So let's sit with that for about a minute. Then I pull the true nature more forward into your experience. So when I talk about the true nature, I refer to the absolute. And when it's being pulled into the human system, a lot of things start changing. The system has to adapt to what you are on the core level. And when I basically pull it forward, this adaptation process is happening. And this is what we want, so that the system becomes already more familiar and more used to the changes. Okay, and then let's sit with this for another 2-3 minutes before we end this healing session. Okay, we are finished.